Hello everyone, I'm back with part 2 for the Defense of the North review, and I broke this into two halves because I'm trying to keep our videos around that 30-minute mark. So I believe I left off with the Legendary Legions. So I did realize I'm reviewing the book, and I'm actually pretty much just going over stuff. And I will say this, I think this book is the second best supplement that we've gotten since the Middle Earth launch. The first being Warren Rohan. Now, the reason why I put Warren Rohan just a notch above this, just barely, is because that the terrain pieces that came with it. So to me, terrain's a big deal, and having a book and then the terrain at launch in the models kind of just puts this Warren Rohan a step above. But in terms of profiles and Legendary Legions, and I think Easterlings is probably a more popular army than Dunland. So I think in that regard, the Defense of the North is probably a better supplement. So anyway, I'm going to go over the Legendary Legions real fast, and I'll continue my rambling after. So the first Legendary Legion is called the Army of Dale. So the Army of Dale can consist of Brand, King of Dale, Bard II, Prince of Dale, Captain of Dale, Knights of Dale, Warrior of Dale with Warhorn, Banner, Escaroth bows, and then you can take a Windlance. Then there's an additional rule for this. An Army of Dale force must always include Brand, King of Dale, who is always the army's leader. And that makes sense. So the special rules, they get the Skilled Bowman, which is the same rule with the army bonuses, basically. Captains of Dale and Warriors of Dale have their shoot value improved to 3+. Then they have Protect the King special rule. Friendly Dale models gain the Sworn Protector for Brand special rule. So basically, if you want to take Dale and you don't want to take Girion, and you want to take the two new characters, so if you were going to play this anyway, you get all the Dale profiles already built into this Legendary Legion. I see no reason not to take it, because you're gaining the Sworn Protector special rule, and that's that's basically it. So here's the Defenders of Arabour. Defenders of Arabour consist of Dane, Thorin, Dwalin, Bifur, Bofer, Nori, Dori, Glowin, and those are all the Champion of Arabour profiles. Bard II, Prince of Dale, Captain of Dale, Iron Hills Dwarves, Iron Hills Goat Riders, Warriors of Arabour, and Brand. I forgot to mention Brand. So you can take all the new stuff and a good chunk of some really good dwarf heroes. I mean, Glowin and Dwalin are already among some of the best dwarf heroes you can take. So here are the additional special rules. So Defenders of Arabour force must contain at least one named hero, one named Arabour hero model, and at least one named hero Dale model. Only Arabour hero models can lead the Arabour warriors, and only Dale heroes can lead the Dale warriors. All models with Iron Hills keyword replaces it for Arabour. So basically, you're taking the Iron Hills profiles that are in the Armies of the Hobbit book, and you're turning them into Arabour, basically. which is strange that they wouldn't use the Arabour warriors for that. But it makes sense at the same time, because aesthetically, the Iron Hills dwarves would look similar to the Dane. And I also think there's probably another motive behind it. So, here are the special rules. Long-standing alliance. Dale models within 1 inch of a friendly Arabour model may reroll 1s to wound during the fight phase. Additionally, Arabour models within 1 inch of a friendly Dale model may reroll 1s to wound during the fight phase. So, it's keyword Dale models and keyword Arabour models, so even heroes would benefit from this. Okay, so then a bond forged in war. If either Dane or Brand would be trapped at the start of the fight phase, then the other may declare a heroic combat without spending might. If successful, they must join their trapped ally, fight if possible. If not possible, they must move close as possible to their trapped ally. It's a very thematic rule. Very, I noticed that, I think I said this in my part 1 video, I noticed that there are a lot of rules in this supplement for being trapped, getting bonuses if the model is trapped and things of that nature, which is highly thematic, and it's also excellent for the game because a lot of armies, like Easterlings or Harad or Goblins or the Shire or basically any other army that's a majority strength 3 really benefit on trapping your opponent. That's how you really crack those defense 6-7 shield walls. Then there's another rule called the Heirs of the Kingdom. If you did Thorn the Second, Stonehelm, or Bard the Second would be trapped at the start of the combat phase. The other may declare a heroic combat without spending might. Okay, so it's the same rules as other. Then here's the last rule that this legendary has. It's Royal Bloodlines. Friendly models in 3 inches of Dane Ironfoot, Thorn the Third Stonehelm, Brand King of Dale, and Bard the Second Prince of Dale count as being in banner. So if you decided to take all 4 of those heroes, which would be north of 400 points, I would point out, but if you did, then you basically would have a pretty nice banner radius. Okay, the second legendary legion is the Beornings. Now this one really caught my eye when I glanced through the book earlier, because I think it's going to be a really solid legendary legion. So the army composition is Beorn, Grim Beorn, and Beornings. So great resilience. Whenever a friendly bear model suffers a wound, roll a d6 on a 5+. The wound is ignored, just as if a point of fate has been spent. So that's huge, because it's hard enough to wound these guys as it is, and giving them a kind of built-in fury save, I can see being quite, I can see it being annoying, but I think it's good because you're going to probably be outnumbered any game you play with this legendary legion, because of the point cost of the models. Okay, here's the second special rule. Charge of the Bear. While they have the bear word, keyword, Beorn and Grim Beorn gain monstrous charge special rule. That is that is insane. So yeah, so wounding these guys, so they get a bonus, if they're wounded, and then getting monstrous charge is huge. I mean, these guys are like strength 8, strength 7, so like they're going to be knocking a lot of stuff prone if they charge them, which is very thematic because especially in the extended version of the Battle of 5 Armies, Beorn was kind of a force to be reckoned with. So then here's another special rule. Friendly models gain the resistant to magic special rule. Yeah, so I mean, again, I think Beorn and Grim Beorn already had this built into their profile. But your basic troops, especially since these guys are pretty hardy, getting resistant to magic, I mean, it just can shut down some offensive plays like Ring Wraith or a Wizard, trying to get a cheeky command out that do a heroic gank, if you will. And then you got the Fueled by Fury. Beorn and Grim Beorn do not need to roll for their Skin Changer special rule. They transform at will. That's huge. One of my biggest reservations to ever taking Beorn is actually because of his. When I used to take Beorn pretty frequently, back in like when the Darren Back Again supplement came out, and one of my biggest reservations to taking him is he could be unpredictable with that rule. You could roll, 4 turns in a row and roll 4 ones. So that is definitely something that is game changing. So this Legendary Legion, so like out of all the supplements that have come out, each when I read them, so like for instance, Quest of the Ring Bearer, I really liked the one with the Balrog and the 9 Ring Wraiths. Those two really stood out to me as something that could be a force to be reckoned with. It's diverse. And then reading this, the Beornings, I mean that's scary. Like if I was diverse this list with any of my armies, I'd be a little bit tensed up. Like how am I going to deal with this now? The tools that I would normally use are pretty they have tools to counter your tools, basically. So here's the next Legendary Legion. So this is in the evil section now. So it's called the Host of the Dragon Emperor, which I remember in my prediction video I predicted we'd get. So you can take the Dragon Emperor of Rune. You can take Rutabi, General of the Dragon Legion, Borogir the Conjurer, Easterling Dragon Knights, Easterling Captains, Easterling War Priests, Easterling Warriors, Cataphracts, Eastern Cataphracts, Dragon Cult Acolytes, and Runish War Drake. So the only thing this Legendary Legion is giving up is the ability to take Amdur and the ability to take Kamol. So my thing is all the heroes that you can take already. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Gondor. So when Gondor War came out, I saw a lot of Minas Tirith armies that began to use Ingold, Huron, and it kind of reminds me of that. These newer profiles stand out a little bit more than the ones that we had. So I'm going to go over their special rules real fast. So the additional rules is that a host of the Dragon Emperor force must include the Dragon Emperor of Rune, and he is always your leader. So that makes sense. I mean, the name is his name is in the Legendary Legion. So the Dragon Cults, Easterling Warriors and Easterling Cataphracts in a warband led by the Dragon Emperor or an Easterling Dragon Knight do not need to pay points to be upgraded to Black Dragons. This upgrade is free. That is massive. You're basically saying at this point, he's a 18-man warband. You can take a lot of fight for. That is massive. Heroes of the Easterlings. Easterling heroes, models, keyword Easterling hero, models, may reroll d6 in a duel. Again, that's huge. No quarter was asked. Easterling models receive +1 courage when their force is broken. Additionally, once per game in a scenario, if there is at least one friendly Easterling hero model alive on the battlefield, the Easterling player may choose to have the dice re-rolled if the scenario ends before they wish to. So that's the same as their army bonus. So basically you're getting looking at this Legendary Legion, that the Dragon Cults and the hero of the heroes of the Easterlings is a really big deal. I could see that being a force to be reckoned with. So, because like, think about it this way: if you take, and I've said this in previous reviews, for instance, if you take Dunharrow, the Return of the King Legendary Legion, or the Rangers Legendary Legion, you're getting Endural for free. And in this, if you have 50 models that could be upgraded to Black Dragons, that's 50 free points. And that's a big deal, especially since I think that their Black Dragon upgrade, that might be 2 points actually. But anyway, it's a really good deal for them. And I'd love to see that Legendary Legion in play. Hope preferably not versing it. Wink. No, I think it'd be fun. So here's the next Legendary Legion, and this is called Fell Beings of Mirkwood. So you can take Razgush, War Leader of the North, Orc Captain, Orc Shaman, Orc Taskmaster, Orc Drummer, the Spider Queen, Orc Warriors, Warg Riders, Orc Trackers, Mirkwood Spiders, Giant Spiders, Fell Wargs, Bat Swarms. So right off the bat, the only thing I'm seeing with that composition is you're getting one character, and one character, I think that the Spider Queen has Heroic Strike. I could be wrong, but having one hero that can Heroic Strike that I know of is kind of sketchy. So the special rule, the additional rules is Fell Beings of Mirkwood Force must include Razgush, War Leader of the North, who is the army's leader. Through the forests, the first special rule. Infantry, friendly infantry models gain woodland creature special rule. Death to the elves, friendly models gain the hatred elf special rule. And then the war leader, Razgush gains a +1 to his fight value when he's engaged with an enemy elf keyword model. So it's a very thematic Legendary Legion because it's designed to be versing elves. Razgush getting +1 to his fight value. I think Razgush is the one that has the he ignores the elven made weapon special rule. So I can see I think he's fight 5, so he becomes fight 6, which is common for elves. So I can see him being a pretty good threat to elf heroes, and having giant spiders and having the Spider Queen in there, you can add some monstrous charges and higher fight values and higher strength values to really pin down some elven lords. For instance, I'd be kind of scared to throw Thranduil in against this guy if there was a Spider Queen lurking about. All in all, I think it's a good Legendary Legion. I don't know if if I was I would take it for thematic purposes. Like if me and my friends wanted to throw down and do some narrative play. For match play, I don't see it being. I see it being good, but I don't see it being game changer. Like I think the Beornings and I think the Dragon Emperor Legendary Legion, and even the Defenders of Arabour, I can see those three being powerhouses on the table in like a matched setting. So then we have Assault on Lothlorien. So you can take Musgar, Orc Shaman, you can take Orc Captains, you can take regular Orc Shamans, you could take Druzag the Beast Caller, you could take Ashrak, Moria Goblin Captains, Moria Goblin Shamans, Wild War Chieftains, Wild Wargs, Giant Spiders, Orc Warriors, Warg Riders, Orc Trackers, Moria Goblin Warriors, Moria Goblin Prowlers, Warg Marauders, and Bat Swarms. So you get, I can see this Legendary Legion, you could basically hoard out, this is true for the other one, I didn't mention, you can, with the, low point costed heroes, you could definitely take a pretty big orcs and stuff. This one is even more so because you can take very point cost, low point cost heroes, and then you can flush those warbands out with really cheaply pointed warriors. So orc warriors, are about as cheap as it gets in terms of warriors cost. Same thing with the goblins. You can take orc trackers on wargs, or you can take warg marauders for some mobility. You got the bat swarms in there to half fight values and enable your. I think a warg chieftain would be a good pick for this because he's a relatively stout model profile-wise. Same thing with the giant spiders. So before I keep talking about the stuff you can take, let me cover the special rules. So here's the additional special rules. So an assault on Lothlorien forest must include Musgur and at least one named goblin hero. Only orc hero models may lead orc warbands. Only goblin heroes may lead goblin warbands. Spider models may be included in warbands led by Druzag or Ashrak. In this legendary legion, Musgur, Druzag, and Ashrak are heroes of valor, and shamans are heroes of fortitude. So, so that's a pretty big deal. So here's my thing that actually does really intrigue me with this list is Musgur, especially because he can kill models and get will backs. I could definitely see Druzag and Ashrak, doing like their enraged beast, or you can cast Fury, or just throwing a mobilize on a hero, and then I can see doing some pretty gnarly magic abilities. So here's the special rules. Cover of Darkness. Any battle features this legendary legion takes place at night. As such, to reduce the visibility, models cannot be targeted by shooting magical powers or special abilities over 12 inches away. However, it is harder to avoid. Okay, so you get +1 to wound. Siege weapons still target models more than 12 inches away. However, this situation only ever hits on a 6 models with the Cave Dweller special rule. See as normal. Okay, so that's a really big deal. So, if I was to say, hey, yeah, this list would be pretty tough to verse elven bows or siege weapons, but that is pretty awesome. Okay, so then Ruthless Savagery. Friendly orc and goblin models gain +1 to wound in a fight in which the opposing model is outnumbered. Note, supporting models do not count as either side for the purpose of the roll, or of this rule, sorry. That's a big deal, because I'm pretty sure with the low point cost stuff that's in this list, you're going to probably outnumber your opponent, like, pretty easily. Dark Magic. So friendly models may roll any number of d6, making a cast roll. Wait, what? Friendly models may reroll. Okay. I was about to say, what? So you may reroll any number of d6 when casting rolls. Okay. Venomback Spiders. If your force contains Ashrak, then all giant spiders in your force can be upgraded to Venomback Spiders for free. That's good. That's what I was talking about in terms of getting free upgrades and things. Is just huge. So I see this legendary legion in terms of like someone who subjectively looks at these as in a match play setting. I think I've said that before. I definitely see the assault on Lothlorien being a little bit more versatile than the beings of Mirkwood. The only thing I could see like being a problem is you don't have any heroic strikers in here. I think that the Warg Chieftain can. So you're going to have to really bank on your shamans being able to shut down a hero for long enough for your swarm to cut down the guys. I really like that legendary legion. It's one I would definitely consider taking, especially since I'm starting a Mori army and I have a bunch of orcs already as it is. So that's the last Legendary Legion in the main settings. Now we're in the appendix. So we have a bunch of thematic scenarios. We have Destruction of Dale. We have Battle of 5 Armies, Battle for Dale. A lot of really cool artwork in this book. The High Pass. So this one takes place during the War of the Ring. You have Beorn, which I'm pretty sure Beorn was dead at this point in the story. Is that it? I thought that there was some Legendary Legions in the appendix. I keep wanting to say appendices, but it's appendix. I think that's it. So yeah, I don't see any more Legendary Legions. I thought there were a few more here in the appendix for some reason. So, all in all, I give this book a really high praise. I really like the premise behind it. I think several years ago I actually did a video saying I think that the War of the Last Alliance and that the War in the North would be two really good supplements just because of the amount of content you can get in them. I love the whole Easterling thing they did. They put a ton of new profiles in there for Easterlings. Not only that, but they put in a lot of stuff for Easterlings that plugs a lot of problems that the list had. So now you have a lot of named heroes that do amazing things for your basic troops. A lot of synergy around that. The Beornings, I love it. You could see the Beorn Legendary Legion is very tempting to me to start a. I have Beorn. I did the math, an 800 point list. You can have 22 models. So it's something I might do when they are released. I'm glad that Dale got flushed out. It's definitely something I thought was going to happen. If you're going to play straight Dale, you got a Legendary Legion that gives your guys Swarm Protector. And then the dwarves got a little bit extra. So yeah, all in all, I really like this supplement. I think that it's was well worth the wait. Our last release wasn't that far ago. It was the Fall of the Necromancer, which was one of their smaller supplements, I think. So Defense of the North came out. That I think they said they're going to try and do 2 releases a year, so we'll probably have a smaller release later in the year. But all in all, guys, I highly recommend picking up the book and checking it out. If you like dwarves, if you like elves, if you like Dale, if you like Easterlings, and you're on the fence, I'd say check it out, definitely. So that's pretty much the end of my review. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you guys in the next video.